Welcome back to Brizy Cloud Starter Kit with JP. And now we're going to start talking about the block. What is a block and how do you work with it? Let's clear out this page again. Go to the bottom options toolbar, select the up arrow and select clear layout. Start building your page and then press the button above to add blocks. And I think this word you'll hear a lot. This is, well, pardon the pun, literally the building block. If you click on it, it opens the blocks manager. And previously we had worked here with kit 1, kit 2, we've added a few, we've deleted them, we've also worked with layouts, and we could see even in the layouts that they are made out of blocks. Apart from then using these pre-made blocks, often you're going to be creating your own. And I've preached it a few times earlier, you need to learn the following. Even though you can use a lot of these pre-made blocks, you will still need the knowledge to make changes to them. So let's work on that. Click on Create Your Own, and this drops in a blank block onto your page. You can see there is just the white background. There's nothing in there. There's no text. There's no images. This is a blank block for you to work with. You cannot have columns or any other content without a block. That's why I say they are the building blocks. They are essential. And blocks always stretch all the way from left to right. That is how web pages work. You're not going to have a block that's only half or only a third and then empty space. A block stretches the entire width of your screen. If you want to have divisions in it, we will use columns to do that. The block has a number of functions that you access with this little icon here that opens the context toolbar for the block. If you click outside it, it will close. Click on it, it opens up. The first one is probably this one here, delete. So instead of going every time and clearing out the whole canvas, if you have one specific block that you want to delete, you simply click on delete and boom, it's gone. Let's bring it back, start building your page, create your own, and the block is here again. Let's see what else we have here. And there's a number of things that we will be working with in the tutorials to come. I think the second one we can look at here is duplicate. And duplicate, if you click on it, is going to take that block and whatever is in that block and duplicate it for you. Let's go and delete this one. Delete, go up to the first block again, and then hop a few and skip until we come to this one that says colors. Select that, and this gives you this little color picker. You've seen this in Word, you've seen it in many other programs that you use, so this you shouldn't be unfamiliar with, though there may be a few things here that you will need to learn. First, it says overlay and then border. And you select on each of these tabs and it will change the color. So you can choose between an overlay, which is basically background color. Not really overlay, background color. And you can choose from the color picker. Or you can go to the swatches at the bottom, pre-made colors that are part of the global styling. So if I select this purple, boom, there you go. The whole background is power pearl or teal. You select on them, and it switches out the color. Great, so you can see, very easy to change the color of the background. Click outside and then click on Add New Block, create your own, and now you see we have the second block here. So that one's background is this teal color and this one is white. Let's go now and click on the options here and now select Duplicate. And you will see it will duplicate this block with everything you've changed to it as well as content. That is what the difference is between adding a new block and duplicating a block. Let's delete this one, delete. Also delete this one. Let's change the color again so you have an idea of how that works. Let's choose a light color like this light rose. Click outside to close it. And now take your cursor onto the block and hover it at the top. And as you hover there, you will see a slight tinted blue bar appears. And it says 75 pixels. And that is the size of the space at the top, which is the padding between the content, where these dotted lines are, and the margin, the border of this block. If you hold on your mouse, click, hold, and drag, click, hold, drag down, you can see I can increase that. So I can add more space at the top. And if I go up, I can decrease that. I can do the same at the bottom. Hover here, click, hold, and drag. And I can create more space. I show you this because you're going to use this one a lot. space is probably the most important part when it comes to design. So play around with this. Just take the cursor there, move it up and down, and get used to it. I wish there were more options like this for left and right and other elements as well. Brizy Cloud hasn't implemented that yet. I know most other site builders have that, so I really, really look forward to the day where we have it not only here at the top and the bottom, but also on the left, on the right, as well as for columns and other containers. Those settings, though, can also be accessed elsewhere. To do that, you go again here to the settings, and then you see the little cog. If you hover over it, it will say settings, and this is going to open this dialog box with more information for the block that you can change, like the width of the block, its height, and then these two options, styling as well as effects. This kind of dialog box you're going to find for almost everything in Brizy. If you're working with a text element, or if you're working with image or a video, you're always going to have the option for styling as well as for effects. Let's click on styling and it opens this sidebar with a lot of information. And when we do some building practices, you will understand how this is going to work. Up here under padding, you will see that there is a little blue bar at the top, which shows you the top part of the block. And you see 141 pixels. And there it says 141 pixels. So as I drag that up and down, it also will change here to reflect what is the setting, as well as here for this one at the bottom at 167. If I want to dial in a specific number, let's say I want to put it at 100, I can grab the slider and drag it, and you can see how it in real time affects the padding of the block at the top. A shortcoming here is that it stops at 150 pixels, and I want it at 150 pixels. To do that, I'll double click inside the value box and then type in 150, and then it will increase to 150. Same thing for the bottom. Over here, double click to select it and then type in 150. Other options you're going to find here is margin, corner, and we'll go through all of these, as well as advanced features, which you're not going to access most of the time. The effects are animations. So if you want this block to make some grand entrance onto your page, you can find it here under effects. So fade is a common one. I'm not a big animator in the sense that I don't like it. I think people get a little bit carried away sometimes when they use animations on the website, and it can become distracting. And I have a few other reasons why I don't like animations. We'll get to that. But if you want them, they are here. So if I click here on fade, you will see a little animation appear there. Let's do bounce. It's a little bit more clearer. Boom, boom. Okay, rotate. And this is how the block will enter onto your site when people load it. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And then below this, you can change the direction. You want it to zoom down. And then how long is the duration? Now, currently, it takes 1 second. I can increase it to 2.1 seconds. It's slower. And then also, how soon should it start after the page has been loaded? And that is the delay. If you put it to 0, the animation will start as the person loads the page. And if you put it somewhere here to 3 seconds, it's going to wait 3 seconds upon loading of the page, and only then the animation will appear. And you have the option here to also select replay animation. So let's say I choose something like bounce, and I set it to right, duration very short, and delay almost instant. And now I've already had the animation, but I can't remember how it looks. Then you select your replay animation and it will redo that for you. These two though, these two tabs, styling and effects, you're going to see them everywhere all the time. Remember, if I click outside, it will close the options. Go back here, select the cog. This little cog here is always going to be your settings. And then from here, diving in deeper, this is where you go to your styling and then the effects. Right. Let's delete the block. Select delete. And next, we're going to look at columns.